Silver's about to surge, and it's going to take gold with it. I'm your host, Steven Van Metre, and thanks for joining me for part 2 of the Sunday Chart Show, where we look at the technicals and momentum of metals, miners, dollars, bonds, and the energy sector. Let's kick this story off with gold, where we like to start every week here before we get into silver. And let's make the case for gold going higher as well. We'll start out with the relative strength indicator, or RSI, and what you're looking for is a 40 or higher means momentum is rising. And what do we see? It came off of these oversold levels down here at 30 back in mid-May, and it started to rally ahead of price. Notice that momentum was starting to bottom out ahead of price. It dropped down below 40. Price followed lower and then started headed higher. This is a positive move and what you want to see with momentum. Now let's take a look at the MACD, or moving average convergence divergence, and what you're looking for here is just a simple crossover of the black line, which is a MACD, through the red line. Now to the downside, it means momentum is moving lower. To the upside, momentum is moving higher. But notably though, on the MACD, the momentum isn't all that strong. We can go back and look at other places here where momentum jumped higher. You can see these back here, these indices, but you notice that these slower moves higher in momentum usually were faded to the downside. So is there more upside for gold? Well, I think so, but let's see if momentum can pick up in the week to come here. Now let's take a look at Momentum Timer Pro, which takes a look at 2 of 3 signals to generate a buy signal. It needs an RSI over 40, a positive cross on the MACD, or its own internal signal suggesting a buy. And when it does, the daily signals here showing the last 10 days will flip from sell to buy. Now if you're a trader, this is a signal you're looking for. If you're a long-term investor, well, this is the 1, 3, and 6 month signals, and it's still telling us gold is in a downtrend. So if you're a long-term buy and hold, this may not be the entry point you're looking for, but if you're a trader, you're watching these sell signals flip to a buy. I'll put a link in the quarter and the description below why it is still even free. It baffles even me. All right, let's take a look at the bigger picture for gold. We see the 21 and 50-day moving averages are headed lower. Again, if you're a long-term trader, that's not what you want to do for an entry point. You want to see those bottom out and headed higher. Momentum on them also headed lower. Only the 100-day is still trending higher at this point. We look at the moving averages, prices above the 21-day and back above where it was 6 and 9 months ago. Let's head over to gold, and where we've got the charts turned on and the volume profile set here in the red bar. You'll notice this is where we're looking back over 2 years, where most of the shares were traded at 1800. Price came down, hit this. Now, you know, my call now is to see gold rally over the 50-day moving average. When it gets down to these levels, and particularly in a downtrend, it has some big counter trend rallies that usually take it over the 50-day, and you'll notice the 100-day moving average here is rising, almost inconsequential. So we're still looking for gold to get up here into 1900. I think it's even got the legs to go even higher. Let's zoom in to the 6 month volume profile. And you can see most shares here traded around 1930, 1940. I think that's where you're headed. You're going to see gold head next, and that's where the sellers will likely show up. Now, from the good news here, if we zoom into the 90-day, you'll see that there's your upward resistance at 1932 and to 1940, where the volume profile line is. Let's go to the 30-day window, and notice now buyers are below, sellers are above, and what you see is buyers are coming in here. This is excellent. This is what you want to start seeing. And notably, the 10-day volume profile price just came back down here and found some more buyers. So all signs here look good for gold going higher. Don't know if it's a big move, but I still think we get up to 1940. Is that the move to all-time highs and then some? I'm not convinced about that just yet. Let's take a look at the miners now, because oftentimes miners lead the metals. When we look at momentum here on the RSI, it did get into oversold territory. Momentum was slowing well ahead of price, and then it bounced off of that as traders came in and said, hey, this has been an opportunity. You know, go back to late September. We were oversold and price rallied. This is what we want. They brought in momentum, started to rise, and we see price go with it. How about the MACD? A nice crossover there. It's not, sharply, headed higher, like we've seen in the past, but it's got some nice separation there. Momentum on it, moving higher. Momentum Timer Pro picked this move up 2 days ago. And again, all you have to do is sign up. It's still free. Notably, though, it's in a downtrend, and you'll get your next report on Monday. We see the 6 and 3 month signal starting to move lower. When you see that happen, particularly when the 1 month is a none, you're seeing broadly the downtrend in the minor. So again, if you're looking for a bigger picture, well, I didn't mean to do that, in the position wise, well, we're not there yet. So let's take a look at the bigger picture. 21-day and 50-day are headed down. See, long-term investor, you need these bottoming and heading higher. And all Momentum Timer Pro is trying to do is give you a quick shortcut of where to look. Above the 21-day moving averages, back above where it was 6 and 9 months ago. Those are some positive things. Let's see what's going on for GDX. As we look at the bigger picture, price came crashing down and ran into resistance right here at its 2-year volume profile line and found sellers, but the buyers super convicted here and drove it up, found sellers again, and now it's sitting just on top of this. So what you want to see going into next week now is, of course, buyers take over here. If the sellers pull this, they're going to yank it down, and you could see back down here into the $30 price range pretty quick. What you're looking for, again, is just like gold, one of those big drops gets driven back above the 50-day. You see it happen here, you see it happen here, you see it drop here. But now notably the 50-day was bottoming out. Here it's in a downtrend. What are we looking for? Well, probably a move up to 38 is what you would ideally want is to see, but definitely probably if this thing gets legs going on it, it could run into resistance just above the 50-day moving average. Let's zoom in a little bit and see where the last 30 days, you notice buyers are below. That's a positive sign to take price higher, and you'll see the 10-day moving average, a lot of buying, or 10-day moving average, 10-day volume profile, a lot of buyers below. Again, positive signs to see the GDX head higher here with gold and kind of just shoot higher over its moving average, or 50-day moving average. So keep an eye on that. How about silver, which I think could surge higher here? RSI is over 40 after being in deep oversold territory. It's at 45. Nice move higher momentum. It's being validated by price. That's excellent. We got some nice crossover here on the MACD, some decent separation. Not, things not going straight vertical, but it's got some decent separation there. Momentum Timer Pro picked this up 2 days ago after the sell signal and a string of buys that it picked up, then went to sell, went to buy. Silver's still in a downtrend though, so be careful here. This may not be the secular move you're looking for, and here's why. All the moving averages are headed lower. You see the momentum screens of the last 12 months, everything's down where it's been. I mean, this isn't quite what you're looking for in a long-term buy at this point. But let's take a look at the charts anyways, and I'll show you where I think things are headed. Let's head over to silver futures here. And now we got the supply zones here. Well, notice this here is a buy zone, and it broke down. And I thought, okay, this was it. It was going to come up, reconfirm the bottom of the supply zone, and plunge. That was it for silver. But hey, you guys that are bullish out there, you did it. You came in and said, no, what? You know what? I'm still bullish here. I still want to buy. I still like the story of silver. And now we're starting to see the red, the 21 line, the 21-day moving average shows signs of flattening out. That's good. On the 2-year chart, you've got volume profile, a big number up here at 24, suggesting that you could see a shoot higher here. But let's zoom in over 90 days. Again, where's the volume profile? Sitting up here at 25. That's good, right? You want to see sellers way up there. How about the 30-day? You've got, look at all this buying underneath this red line. That is a positive indicator. How about the 10-day buying underneath here? This is what you want to see to take price higher. I like this look. I still think you can get up here to 23 and to 24. You'll notice here on the 1-year chart where you see that volume profile line. I think the bulls are going to make a move here. The only question is, how far are they going to go with it? But somewhere into this $23 to $24 price range is the next zone where the sellers are at, and you can see it with that red line. All right, let's take a look at dollars, which if they continue higher would be a problem for the metals and miners. We see that momentum, is still above 40. It was trending down, slowing down, brought price down, which is normal, which was what you expect. Momentum starting to flatten out here, maybe even move higher. And notice that I drew this red line here. It kind of momentum took price higher. Momentum got overbought conditions over 70. It's pulled back a little bit. Price came down. Now potentially looking to go higher. How about the MACD? It's looking like it's in the early stages starting to bottom out and maybe turn lower or higher, suggesting that momentum is now bottoming out, looking to take price higher. Momentum Timer Pro, it's in an uptrend. Now this is different than the other ones. Notice it's got a mid on the 6 month, the max on the 3 month, and we've seen a slowdown here on the 1 month down to minimum. So what this is telling you is in the short term, there's been a pullback validated by the 1 month signal, but broadly speaking, the long-term signals say it's in an uptrend. What that tells you, if you are looking to add positions to your dollar holdings, wait for the sell to flip to a buy, because it's suggesting you're in an uptrend. All right, so let's look at the 21-day moving average. It's headed lower. But again, how do you know it's an uptrend? The moving averages are headed up. That's the key signal here. 50-day, 100-day, all headed up. And so far, so good. Everything else mostly green on your screen. Let's go over to UUP and we'll look at DXY. So here you see, 200-day moving average rising, 100-day moving average, 50-day moving average. So the 21 days rolling over, it's finding a little support off of the 50. It doesn't tend to do that a lot. Dollar tends to like the 100-day moving average even more. Let's zoom out over 5 years. And was this thing due to a pullback? Yeah, I mean, easily you can see UUP coming down here into the low 27, maybe in the high 26s here. Let's zoom into the 90-day profile. You see sellers above over the last 90 days, no surprise. I would expect sellers above on the last 30 days. But notably, buyers are coming in over the last 10 days here, and that is perhaps what you're looking for. Let's take a look at DXY. I see it pull back to 102. I still think it can get down to 100. Let's go out to the 5 year. Man, we got to go further on that. Let's go out to the weekly chart, max weeks. Here we go. I still think we can get down here into 100. Maybe the market doesn't need to take it. There's a little bit of support underneath. They're still sitting right here around 101. So maybe that's all it needs. Of course, the end game for the dollar is 120 and probably even higher than that, if you can imagine. All right, let's take a look at bonds, which may be showing signs of bottom here as momentum is starting to build off of massively oversold conditions. And here we see it was oversold in April, oversold early May. Finally, people started to come in and say, I'm going to buy this. Momentum slowing a little bit, still holding at 42. Price reflecting that, but still we see price moving higher with momentum. Good sign. We see the MACD had a positive cross, came back under in the second cross saying, hey, we're going to take this higher. It's flattening out, a potential early sign that maybe we get another dip below and then it goes higher. But we'll see going into the next week what that means. Momentum Timer Pro, 20 or 11 days of buy signals. Now on the daily, so for those traders who are looking to bottom fish, there was your opportunity. Notice the 1 month signal's up to mid now. What you want to do is wait till the 3 month goes to minimum. That's a much, much stronger signal, particularly when it's paired with the 1 month signal. Let's take a look at the other picture here. All red, no surprise there. But what is going on with TLT? Are finally this thing going to go higher? Well, let's zoom in because the 2 year chart doesn't really tell us anything. You see this big gap of volume here. Prices got to work its way through. Notice the 21-day moving average is early signs of bottoming. That's plus. Let's go into the 6 month, nothing there. Let's go to 90 days. Nothing there, way above. How about 30 days? Aha. So now you're starting to see that sellers are still pretty aggressive here at 116.93 and anything above trying to drive price down. Buyers keep coming in below here at anything down to 114 and 115. Buyers are coming in. Let's take a closer look at the 10-day and still sellers above. But early signs of a bottom here. If you start looking at the daily signals here on, let's go zoom over here, and what you're going to see is a 21-day moving average just start to flatten out as the 21 days going backwards start to move out these low points. You saw a nice move on Friday, and that if that is followed through with early next week, you've got early signs of a bottom here in TLT. All right, let's take a look at the energy sector, which of course TLT would love for it to go down. It's been overbought for a long time. Many people were finally saying, hey, this is over, momentum slowing. I said, no, momentum just slowed down a little bit. Momentum is still pushing higher, back to overbought conditions and near there again. How about the MACD? Very much overbought conditions as well. That means Momentum Timer Pro is going to show a buy signal on that. Everything green on the long-term signals. Let's look at XLE and C because this thing is not long from being over, and you can see when it gets up to these positions. I said it could get up to 90. I thought it could get up there. It did. Now you have a left shoulder head, potential right shoulder. And the problem with energy is when it goes, man, it goes straight down. So if you're in this trade and you're going higher, just keep tightening up your stops as it goes. And we'll see you on the next show. I'm Steve Van Metre. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being fans. Bye now.